He's finally fucking becoming a fucking man.
Yeah, but it'll never hurt you. Even though as much as he's standing up for himself, he's always you're always going to kick his ass. At the end of the day,
like, your friend knows you're fucking with him anyway. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
So we were talking about, so we talk about, so I hear what you're saying about, your friend, and you're like, okay, well, you're finally glad and that's where this perspective splits. And that's why the watch is so cool, because I see where your heart is. You're like, he's finally learning to stand up for himself. I'm proud. I built him up to be a better man. And that's good. You're actually a better person than me. Because what I'm thinking about, I'm always going to subjugate you. Like, I will always own you. You'll be my bitch because you can't hit hard enough to make me stop. But yet you are, so it's cute to me. So it's like, because like when just beating on somebody and then not hitting you back, that's really, this gets like kind of socio-masochistic. It's like almost like you got to really test your own mental makeup. Like, am I a killer? Am I a killer of men?
Or you like power?
Yeah, too much though.
I don't think you're a killer, because at this point, I think what you want out of life is not to kill someone, right?
No, definitely not. But beat them up badly enough. That for that moment, you're their god. But then it flips on you, because you're always going to meet somebody who can kick your ass.
Always. Listen, that's the thing. It's always the case, bro. I mean, my brother got shot. I always assume, forget that someone beating you up.
Oh, man.
They're going to pull him out. They're going to pull out the guns. They're going to pull out the knife. They're going to pull out...
Where did this happen? Where did your brother get shot?
He got shot in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's a rough city.
Rough city, and he got shot. We were at a club right near off of South Street. I used to hang out with these dudes that were fucking pretty wild. They called themselves the Billionaire Boys Club. They were all hustlers. They were selling drugs, different types of drugs. And a bunch of them went down... But the FBI took them down.
Always.
But not only that, so these guys would party. Like, I'm talking about, they would buy shots of Louis XIII, bottles of Louis XIII. These are thousands of dollars, like, I don't know, $15,000 for that bottle?
Yeah.
It's insane. So we did the shot of Louis XIII that night. I remember doing a shot of Louis XIII, but I remember there was Italian mobsters, kids, in the club.
Okay.
Who were not appreciative of brown men celebrating in their city, right? So what happened was there was some type of... They were pissed off. They came and started pushing people that were in our party, and it eventually ended up in a fist fight.
Okay.
Going out of the club, like, I remember a guy getting hit, falling down the stairs. We actually did win the fight.
And it's on South Street, right?
On South Street.
South Street
these weren't...
The Coliseum sometimes.
Yeah, bro. But these weren't even, like... These weren't mobsters. You're mobsters' kids. Mm-hmm. Right? You have to remember. They were the... offspring.
So they want to be Guidos.
Exactly. So what happened was that after the fucking fight, we beat them. My brother and one of our other friends kept going after them, and this is the mistake. Ran after them. They were running their car. They went to the trunk, immediately pulled out the work, and fucking just bucked off. I remember my brother told me the gun was like right, basically at his head.
Okay.
And he all he saw was flashes. Uh-huh. And he's lucky. He was actually a star soccer player. So he was a goalie. So his fucking instincts, like, he went like this, the bullet went into his fucking wrist and out of his fucking right here, near his elbow. So he got lucky as fuck, right? Because it could have went right through his head. And my other boy got shot 3 times. And he got shot in a vital organ. But I'll never forget it, because I was in the street. My blood was bleeding in my arm in the street. And no fucking ambulance coming, nothing. I remember the controller of the city of Philadelphia. This guy pulls up in a Benz. He goes, "These fucking cops, they're all corrupt. It's all corrupt. It's all connected." I'm like, wow. What the hell's going on here? Uh-huh. And then he took one of my other boys who had his head split open from the fight. He fucking rushed him to the hospital. A police officer, I go, "What the fuck? This is on your fucking head, bro, if my brother dies." Takes my brother, we put my brother in the car, and we take off. We go to the fucking, going through everything. I'm yelling at this cop like he's fucking my fucking son. Mm-hmm. I'm like, "You piece of shit, we gotta get it, we gotta make it." He actually got us there, and my brother ended up being fine.
Awesome.
And my boy ended up being fine, thank God. Good. And yeah, they actually sued the club. You know,
did he get paid? Can you say, or you can't say?
I think they got some money. They didn't get like fucking real money, but you know.
Can I say one thing? your brother is probably the best goalie in the world. There's nobody better than your brother. Nobody can talk shit to your brother. They be like, yo, man, I stopped 7 shots. Hey, I stopped the bullet, bitch.
The fucking bullet, bro.
Bullet,
it's insane.
bitch.
He's so lucky.
Man.
You know, and it just shows you, like, you never know where your skill set's going to be used.
Philadelphia is a rough city. And I tell people that. People are like, oh, no, Philadelphia's so nice, and they're so nice. And so, well, hey, yo, no, Philly is nice where they Independence Hall. Outside of that,
well, they go to Rittenhouse Square, and they built up areas, and like, it's so nice. It's like, bro, go to South Philadelphia. Go to North Philadelphia. Go to West Philadelphia. These are the sections of the city where you have, North Philadelphia, you have the Puerto Rican, Black, Polish, like this weird diversity of people. Mm-hmm. And then you have the heroin epidemic. Yeah. You have fucking heroin addicts in the street, laid out, needles still in their arm. You know, heroin addicts parked at the Wawa. Because I know, you know what I mean? At the Wawa, right off of Kensington, off of 95. That exit off of 95 for Kensington, the Wawa there, you have dope heads parked in that fucking lot with needles in their arms because they just shot up. It is a serious city. West Philadelphia, fucking straight up black neighborhood, fucking gangster neighborhood.
Where Will's from. Will Smith's from gangster neighborhood.
With UPenn there, with Drexel there, the university surrounded. Just like North Philadelphia has Temple University. Yeah. But you go to North Philadelphia blocks, you can get any drug at any time. Yeah. And they call it wet, which is formaldehyde flakes.
PCP, right?
Yeah. Well, they call it wet. And they call it, it's PCP. They got Ready Rock, which is crack. Mm. They got Works, which is the needles, because they actually supply you needles if you need.
Oh wow! I wouldn't trust anybody from North Philadelphia to give me a sterilized needle.
They literally, it's the way they make money. One thing is, drug dealers don't want to kill their customers, right? Yeah. They just don't. It's bad business. Yeah. But the North Philadelphia is so tough. I'll never forget some of the nights where I would go there to get weed, and I would see some fucked up shit. Oh, and it's just the drugs were, the quality of heroin there was so pure at some point. Mm-hmm. That's why The Wire, up and down the East Coast, in those port cities, you were getting pure heroin. Mm-hmm. Now things have changed, I think. But yeah, it was a real deal, and that's why The Wire is a fucking amazing fucking series, which is basically based on that pure dope.
I did a bit while working on it, and what was this about? People were talking about exactly on the same subject you're talking about. Is you got a lot of these celebrities dying from the what the media is telling us. All these celebrities are dying because of this heroin that's laced with fentanyl from China, and the fentanyl is killing them. Mm-hmm. Well, what about the heroin? Doesn't the heroin have something to do with them dying? Hey, let's talk about the great white horse in the room. What has heroin become that? Has heroin become that society
normalized?
Hey, give me some coffee,
bro.
tea.
They're solid. They're giving us fucking what's it called? The pills. Yeah. It's Oxy.
Oxycontin. Yeah.
Oxy, and what was it before that?
Valium. Wasn't Valium?
Valium, and then there's another one with an M.
Not morphine.
Yeah. So it's all this. It's been pushed to us forever. And we ourselves, as a government, and the United States government, used opium against the Chinese to get them hooked. Yeah. Like, in the end of the day, we've been using drugs
Opium
forever.
Road. Yeah. That was used, that's how they conquered China. The British conquered China through opium, and now it's coming back. Wow.
Our karma's coming back.
Wow. Yeah, that's the only way that's the only way that the British
this family has made so much money off Oxy. Billions and billions, and they've killed millions. And guess what? It goes up to show you that the heroin really isn't the problem. They start doing the dope because they don't have the prescription no more. Because they get so fiended out, it doesn't fucking do anything for them. You know what I mean?
The heroin. Check it out. When you want to run this, when you want to run the game.
Have you ever done heroin?
No, never. But when you want to run the game, you got to run the game. Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. So just follow just like you're paying by the numbers. Okay, so the doctors prescribe the heroin. Okay, comes from the pharmaceutical companies, which tell the doctors, hey, prescribe the heroin. But the legal actions now have said doctors have to cut it off now. So when you cut it off, okay, that starts a whole new industry.
Yeah.
Now it's the illegal narcotic industry, which you have people making money off the illegal narcotic industry.
Yep.
Treatment, rehabilitation, and jail.
Yeah.
They all feed off of that. So when you're getting off of Oxycontins, it makes no financial sense when a whole other billion-dollar industry springs from that. So you think these people don't know? Okay, so now it springs.
They know.
Law enforcement, courts get paid, hospitals get paid, treatment centers get paid, prisons get paid. Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
It's a business.
They work together.
And it's all together right now.
Together.
So, and guess what? The casualties are just a part of the business.
It's all part of the business model.
People are just, humans are expendable.
Without heroin, they're going to have to put correctional officers. So do you think that like I didn't know this, but the correctional officers union is hardcore. Like you want them. Yeah. So what do you think they're going to vote against drug enforcement? No,
at the end of the day, we're headed to drug legalization eventually. You know why? Because we're in a society where more information is available than ever, and drugs are not stopping. Matter of fact, they're increasing. Yeah. So if you look at reality, the only way to stop this fucking epidemic that we call, heroin, fucking people dying every day, and fucking crack and all that shit, is to legalize it and let people do it. And at least they'll do a product which is safe. And then kids are not going to be as fucking like, oh, I want to try it so bad, right? A reason that marijuana was such a big thing for me as a kid was because it was illegal. And it was something that I was like, oh, I want to try that shit. It's like you take the stigma out of it, and then all of a sudden now the numbers go down. Because you have Portugal, where drugs are legal. They don't have any issues. Amsterdam is decriminalized. They don't have the issues that we do. Yeah, they have fucking crackheads in the street freebasing and fucking cops on horses telling them fucking no.